welcome in. It is day 292, and you're speaking with the Meeples Champion. And today, we're going to be going over a small trick-taking game specifically for 2 players. This is a game I actually picked up over a year ago. It was a Christmas or post-Christmas grab. I was in Arizona, saw it in a store, heard good things, picked it up, test tried it, liked it, was ready to play, never got around to getting it off the shelf until recently. Now, I no longer have the box for this game, as it was one of the smaller games that I downgraded into my individual cases, but I do still have a big enough instruction booklet in the case that I was willing to portray that. The game is called The Fox in the Forest. Now, the idea of this game is that you have 11 cards per suit, and you have 3 suits in the entire deck, so you have 33 cards. And these cards, 1 to 11, are bells, keys, and moons. Those are your 3 suits. So you start the game off by shuffling everything up. You deal everybody 13 cards, and then 1 card goes face up in the middle, which is going to represent the trump suit. So that means out of possible 33, 26 cards are in hand, a 27th card is going to be face up, and that means there will be 6 cards out of the game. You don't know what those are. Now, during the game, whoever deals the first round, the other person will be the leadoff. And it's same as most Trump-type trick-taking games. If you play a card, the other person must play suit. You can't ignore that. But, unlike those, this one comes with certain cards have abilities. For instance, if you play the 11, then it says that when the person follows, they have to play either the 1 of that suit or the highest number they have of that suit. Those are their only 2 choices. Unless, of course, you have none of that suit, at which point you can play something else. So that's a card that can really force somebody to have to give up a really powerful card. You might lose your 10. Now, if you play, say, the 9 of a suit, when you play the 9, it immediately becomes the trump. So unless somebody else has a higher of the actual trump suit, that one is representing a 9 of trump. So you can play it within suit and still trump the other person. It's a great card to counter that 11, because somebody forces you to play your highest card, just so happens your highest is a 9, it becomes a trump, you steal it. So that's a great counter to that. There's also, say, the 5. The 5 allows you to draw the top card off the deck. You look at your hand, you pick out which card you want to get rid of, and you put it on the bottom of the deck. So now you have a knowledge of what's no longer in the cards, and you've managed to upgrade or downgrade your cards, depending on what you're looking to do. The 7, if you play the 7, then what it's going to do is whoever wins that trick gets a point for every 7 in the trick. So you want to be careful about playing a 7 first, because somebody else might find a way around you, unless you really are 100% sure it cannot be trumped or overwhelmed and taken. Then there's the 3. The 3 has the setup of, when you play the 3, you are allowed to immediately exchange a card from your hand with the card that represents trump, which could change trump. Now, you might decide, well, the keys are trump and I have a bunch of keys, but currently there's an 11 on there and I have a 2, so I'm going to exchange those and get it so that now I have a much stronger trump. Of course, that works fine. But in general, that just allows you to exchange if you want to. It's your choice. And then finally is the 1, and the 1's ability is when you play the 1, even though you lose, you may not, you could somehow win, but even if you lose, you get to lead the next trick anyways. So those are the abilities. So during the round, you're going to be going back and forth, and you're going to be playing until somebody gets 21 points, which is going to take at least 3 rounds. Now, in a round, during play, you can get up to 3 points because of the 7s. There are 3 potential points to be earned between both players during play if 7s are active in the game. Then, afterwards, you're going to see who wins what for your total amount of tricks. If somebody wins 0 to 3, they're going to get 6 points. But then it's going to be 4 to 5, they're only going to be getting 1 point. Or I think it's 4, you get 1 point. 5 or 6, you get 2 points. 7, 8, 9, you get 3 points. 10 through 13, you actually are going to be too many and you get 0 points. So if a player plays it perfectly and they get all 3 7s, and they can end up getting a really good score, you end up getting 0 to 3, you could end up getting 6, you get 9. There's something different about those points. I want to say it's maybe the 9 is the one. There's a number that you can get 6 points on. I just forget which one it is. I want to say It must be the 8. But either way, so you have your point distributions, you go back and forth. It's a lot of trying to figure out, like, well, how can I take advantage of what cards have been given? Do I want to try to win, or am I trying to get my opponent to win? But be careful, because my opponent might be over, stating their hands, using their power cards, and I think it's easily going to all go to them, and then out of nowhere they get me 4 in a row and end up getting 6 points, and I get just a measly 1. So you got to be careful about what you're doing and when, but it's a really interesting game. That being said, why don't we jump into our take on the game? Let's talk our 7 categories and see where this one lands for us. When it comes to the art, I don't think the box is bad, but I don't think it's great. I think it's a solid 3. The thing that gives it a potential bump from there is the fact this isn't a big box. This is a small card box. And in the card boxes, this one always grabbed my attention. I love foxes, so maybe that's just because foxes are my favorite. A nice white fox is my favorite animal, but foxes in general I just find beautiful. Beyond that, when you put the cards out, the art on these cards is stellar. I love the art here. It's a big thumbs up. Your components. There's only 2. You've got your cards, which are fantastic quality, and then you've got your cardboard to represent your 1, your 3, and your 6-point victory points. All these are fantastic. Thumbs up. Your price. This game comes in at about maybe $15. It's not very expensive. If you're a trick-taking fan like me and you're looking to add a couple games in that you can guarantee is going to be fun at 2, I have games I play at 2, but they're really intended for 2 to 6, which means it's probably better the more people that are in it. This is a 2-player only game. So I grabbed this because I wanted to make sure if I want to play trick-taking and I don't have a lot of people around, I have a good 2-player option. So I think that for $15, this is a fantastic grab. Even though I haven't played it a bunch yet, that's fine. It wasn't a lot of money, but at some point, the game is solid. I'm going to be able to enjoy this game a bunch with whether it's my wife, a friend, one of my sisters, and I love it for that. Thumbs up. Your difficulty. It's not too difficult. I think a kid can play. I think a beginner can play. I think an experienced player can enjoy it. I even think an expert player, when you're dealing with it, stuck at home or at a party and you're just trying to play something but you didn't have a chance to set up a big game, this is a great little 2-player that an expert can enjoy as well. Thumbs up. Replayability. The game doesn't take that long. A round takes like 5 minutes. So you're talking about this game taking 15 maybe? Possibly 20? That's nothing. Replayability is easy that you could play this game a couple, maybe 3 times in a row. And I think this is one that's easily going to be pulled out for, you head home for a weekend to see family, you have a friend over and you just don't know what to do while you're waiting for food, you're going to a family get-together, a holiday party, you're at game night and you're waiting for the others to show up. I think that there's plenty of replayability here. Thumbs up. Keys to victory. Well, it's all up to how you're targeting your cards. Are you trying to get rid of a suit completely? Do you have a card that's going to be able to change up what the trump is and you're trying to quickly take advantage of the current trump and then switch that out? Are you trying to target and oh, I have a lot of this, so my opponent must not have much of it at all. I've got to make sure to change up suit once I know they're out of it so that I can go in there and start trumping with it. Are you trying to use the 7s to your advantage, or do you not have any and you're trying to target how to snag them from your opponent? There's a lot of ways to take advantage in such a small game. Yes, there's not a guarantee. It's still the luck of the draw. There's only 2 of you. You don't know what cards are out of there, so you don't have 100% knowledge. But for the style game this is, there are plenty of keys there. You just have to be able to really pay attention to try to take advantage when you see the opportunity. Thumbs up. Is the game unique? I love the game. It's a great game. But it's a trick-taking game. Yeah, there's abilities, but I've played trick-takings that have abilities. And I don't think that necessarily does enough I've played the Dwarf King. I love the Dwarf King. I love its abilities in that game. I actually think that supersedes this. It just doesn't play at 2. It specifically plays 3 to, I think, 5. This is only 2. So this is a great one to bring in the case of I wanted to play Dwarf King and it fits into that 2-player slot and I can go with one or the other. But there are trick-taking games. There are trick-taking games that have abilities. There are trick-taking games that have 3 suits. To me, it's not unique. As much fun as it is, thumbs down. Overall, what do I think? It's a fun game. It's a cheap game. I think that if you like trick-taking, just buy it. If you like 2-player games, just buy it. If you like a game that's going to give you the opportunity to change it up a little bit because you're getting sick of playing the same trick-taking, Wizard and Skull King are my 2 big ones and they don't have special abilities, yeah, go for this one. It'll change it up a bit. But no matter what, I don't think this is a game that if you have any interest in it, I just think buy. You don't need to test try. You don't even need to see a playthrough. Just buy it. That's what I did, and it's worked out fine for me. Well, it has been day 292, and we've been speaking about the game, The Fox in the Forest. And you've been speaking to the Meeples Champion. Like, share, subscribe, and check down below in the description. I'll be adding an Amazon link in case you want to get this game for your collection. Until next time, I'll talk to you tomorrow.